Hi there. We are day 131 of our Through the New Testament in 1 Year, and today we are doing John chapter 2. The whole chapter, it's only 25 verses, and this is a good one. A wedding at Cana. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus was also invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does that have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." And you notice right here, I love it. And it says in the other ones, I'll check real quick. Yep. All versions, it says, she did not ask him twice, okay? She simply told his mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." That's mom for you, okay? That's the power of mom right there. I love that. Now, there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Okay, it's going to have another 3 measures. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw some water out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water now become wine, right, 30 gallons of wine, wow, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, right? The master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." This is the first of his signs Jesus did at Cana in Galilee and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. Right? How could you not, right? After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and his brothers and his disciples, and they stayed there for a few days. See, so he's hanging out with mom and his brothers and sisters. By this time, I think he had 3 brothers and 2 sisters, so there were like 6 of them, right? Maybe more. He was the oldest, of course, right? And a lot of them didn't believe in him till afterwards, okay? Because that's just our brother, right? No prophet has no honor in his own hometown, right? Okay, Jesus cleanses the temple. The Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple, he found those who were selling oxen and sheep and pigeons, and the money changers sitting there. In making a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and oxen. And he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And he told those who sold the pigeons, "Take these things away. Do not make my Father's house a house of trade." His disciples remembered that it was written, "Zeal for your house will consume me." Right, so he tipped over the tables. All right. We'll talk about that. So the Jews said to him, "What sign do you show us for doing these things?" Jesus answered them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." Then the Jews said, "It has taken 46 years to build this temple, and you will raise it up in 3 days." But he was speaking about the temple of his body. Right, we know that, right? When therefore he was raised from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this, and they believed the scripture and the word that Jesus had spoken. There you go. Now they were selling stuff at church, right? Selling stuff, changing money, right? Had an ATM machine. Is there an ATM machine at your church? I mean, I've never seen one, but I imagine there might be, right? And they sell coffee and donuts and goods and wares and books and stuff. Okay? Is it any different? Ask yourself that at the churches of today. Okay? Hey, Jesus knows what is in man. Now, when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover feast, many believed in his name and when they saw the signs that he was doing. But Jesus, on his part, did not entrust himself to them because he knew all people, and indeed no one to bear witness about a man, for he himself knew what was in man. Let's read that again. Jesus was in Jerusalem at the Passover feast, and many believed in his name and saw the signs he was doing. But Jesus, on his part, did not entrust himself to them because he knew all people and needed no one to bear witness about man, for he himself knew what was in man. Interesting, huh? You know what? Let's jump over to the 1599 Geneva Bible, and we'll read that in there, okay? Okay, because they have notes in here. This was written 1599 Geneva, before the King James, okay? In fact, King James outlawed this Bible. That's a whole different study, okay? Okay, let's read it in here. Now, when he was at Jerusalem at the Passover in the feast, many believed in his name when they saw his miracles which he did. But Jesus did not commit himself unto them, because he knew them all. And he had no need that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man. Okay, O and P. So let's go down to O and P. Okay, O. It is not good crediting them which stand only upon miracles. Right. And P. Christ is the searcher of hearts, and therefore the true God. So there you go. That's John 2. Cool, huh? Cool. So there it is, the wedding at Cana. Right? It's still interesting that his mother did not even ask Jesus again. She turned to the servants and said, do whatever he tells you to do. Mother has spoken, right? And then he hung out with them for a few days. That's kind of nice. So, you go. Cleanses the temples. Okay, that's, that goes on today, right? Goes on today. Money changers. Selling things at church. Okay. Do not make my Father's house a house of trade. Amazing. So, there you have it. Cool, huh? We'll mark this as complete, and tomorrow we're probably doing half of John 3, I imagine. Yep. 18 verses in John 3. Very short tomorrow. So, but a lot of these are short. So, there you go. That's day 131, and these are fun, nice, short little studies. And we're going to spend the whole year going through the New Testament. So, and it'll get a little more involved once you get into the epistles and the Acts and stuff like that. You need to tear apart verses, okay? We did tear apart the first paragraph of John 1, which is a good one, if you check that out. But there you go. Give us a like if you think about it. Catch up on any you may have missed, and we'll do it again tomorrow. See ya.